Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. In War of the Visions, here is my supplemental video to go with my going over the second anniversary announcements. That was kind of like an information video. This one will be more about my feelings about what was announced there, and also my feelings about the kind of the game as a bigger whole. And then I'll also go over my plans for the Final Fantasy VI collaboration, and then next year. But first, let's talk about what was not announced at the second anniversary. There was no new unit form, no like a cost 120 unit or like a 7 stars unit, no EX subjobs, there was no Bahamut type Esper/Vision card, although we'll have to see what the Chaos Odin looks like. And then related to that, no like higher form of current Vision cards, like 5 stars or something. I said before that perhaps they introduced EX jobs at first anniversary to take that pain early so that the second anniversary would go more smoothly. The developers repeatedly said the last half year that they wouldn't do cost 120 type new form, and I believe them, but I was half expecting them to do something kind of sneaky, like EX subjobs where they are still jumping power creep, even if they're not technically raising the levels or the unit cost. But then they did that kind of preemptively when they announced second master abilities a month or so ago, and I became hopeful at that point. Maybe second master abilities would pick up where EX jobs left off, and we can continue with the slow rollout of upgraded older units, but this time it'll be more fun because it'll be totally free. Just beat an easy quest and then get the upgraded. And so I wished for a live stream with no major announcements for units systems, and that's what we got. I am thrilled and relieved. So no new systems for units, which is exactly what I wanted. What we did get were a Vision card system and then a Trust Master system, neither of which should affect the trajectories of power creep and game balance as much as like EX jobs did last year. But it will add new depth to team building on the one hand, and then add a new kind of farming and then customization element on the other hand. I see these as both positive additions to the game. So yes, overall I feel relieved about the announcements, and then I feel better about playing the game. I feel better about the money that I've spent up to now, and then I feel better about spending in the future. Although I didn't pull a ton this year, I did spend a lot on raising units and Vision cards, and all the time I was like, am I going to be able to use these long term? Is all this going to be power crept? Is the game going to be shut down? Because that's what matters to me, power creep and game balance and the game surviving. I would honestly play a game that was expensive where those things were handled well than a cheap game that was not run well or with care. JP players want to spend in a game they like. They want to support it if they feel that they are supporting a quality product with a future. It's a bit early to say, but I think this livestream reassured a lot of people like it did for me. I was like, God, I can just play the game. I don't have to flip my entire account. The last couple months, I've been hearing more and more people in JP say that game balance is really good, lots of units and teams are viable in PvP, and the game is really fun as a result, and I agree. Without a giant unit system addition, that state can continue. The next thing that worries me, however, is that final Crystal Fest unit that will most likely be released New Year's Day. If he is cost 100, we're cool. If he is cost 120 or something, then I am super worried at that point. About a year ago, there was the first anniversary Hatcher snafu in JP, which sucked and hurt the game, and lots of players left. And then halfway through the year, there was the Consumer Protection Agency thing. That was a result of that anniversary snafu, and that sucked too. But that did not affect folks already in the game, I feel like. It more damaged the game's ability to draw new players. And that, directly threatens the life of the game, which is why I flipped out about that. During the live stream, producer Hirono, he did the challenges, and I wish, mobile games did not do this in Japan, but I guess the developers must feel it is worth doing, so they keep doing it. But in Japan, they really value the apology and showing repentance very much. I do not personally. That's the nice thing about being me. I can pick and choose what I like about my different backgrounds. But like, in Japan, there are sad little people watching producer Hirono humiliating himself and thinking, take that, Hirono. I didn't like how you did, I don't know, Christmas Ramada's EX job, but now I have my revenge. It's pathetic. I don't like that there are such petty people out there, and I don't like that the developers pander to them. But I guess they feel like it keeps those sad little people spending, so maybe they think it's worth it. I feel like 2022 is going to be an important year for War of the Visions. If it can turn things around and get better sales, we'll have a game that will last for years. If sales don't improve, then I don't know. As of now, there are no scandals upsetting JP players, so the Final Fantasy VI collaboration could be a breakout month for sales. Final Fantasy X was marred by the Anniversary Hatcher scandal. Final Fantasy VII was marred by the Cost 100 Rush scandal. But hopefully nothing crops up to mar Final Fantasy VI. I think this is a big chance for the game. As for my plans for this collaboration and then the coming year, I want the complete set of Final Fantasy VI. This is the first time I've ever felt this in War of the Visions. I also really love Final Fantasy IV, but somehow I was satisfied with just Rosa last year, and then just Kain this year. 7, not a fan, 10, not a fan, 14, not a fan. Tactics, I like the game, but I played Ogre first, so I'm not as big of a fan as a lot of people. For me, it's 1, 4, 6, 9, and 12. Those are my favorites. Those will get me to pull. But otherwise, I'll try to skip seasonal units as much as possible, but vision cards I'm always open to. I kind of wish I had pulled that Earth Final Fantasy XV vision card now. I'll skip the Fest banner except for discounted pulls, and again, I'll try to focus on EXing my old units rather than pulling for new units. Like, that's something guaranteed that I can just like buy and then just work on rather than gambling with pulling. But if they keep giving me ridiculous results from random single pulls, I'll have no choice but to build them. Speaking of which, I pulled the Halloween Vision card on a random 50 paid Vision Ore pull, and then I took it to 3 stars just with the Vision Ore I had lying around. And all weekend I've been debating with myself to put some money into the game to finish it, but I resisted, my willpower won out. It's not much of a victory, especially compared with my plan to get the complete set of Final Fantasy VI. But hopefully I can take that little victory and then continue to exercise that willpower over the coming year, and then take my spending down more and more. Okay, so those are my feelings coming out of the second anniversary livestream. I feel tentatively confident about the future of the game. I think it just depends on how well the sales go, and then how few scandals crop up. But like game balance and then power creep, I think the game is in a great place, and if it can continue like this, that'll be great both for the fun of the game and then also for the future of the game. Alright, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.